As a fighter, I think he's amazing. I think he has great technique. He has crazy knockout power.
We all know Tank best weight is 35, 40. You fought Barrios at 40, 35, 40. And you fight Jake Paul, who getting better. I'm like I said, and he got 6 feet tall. Where Tank gonna hit him?
Gervonta Davis kicked off his training camp for the Jake Paul fight with serious intensity. On the very first day, he ripped through a 35-punch combo on the pads, showing the explosive speed and power fans expect from him. Every strike landed sharp and clean, proving his focus is locked in. Both fans and analysts took it as a clear signal. Davis is preparing to step into the ring with discipline, pressure, and Gervonta Davis got people buzzing online after posting on Instagram, "See y'all soon. Looks like ATL is about to be lit." Then he added, "Send the bag and I'm there." His message had 2 points. First, he's eager to fight. Second, he wants business handled the right way. In today's boxing, fighters can't ignore the balance between chasing legacy and securing their earnings. Davis made it clear he's aiming for both. This wasn't just a throwaway post, it was a statement. He's hungry to compete, but also determined to be paid what he deserves. It showed a fighter who knows his worth and won't settle for less.
I text that again. Tell them boys to give me 150 M's. I'm coming. You know what I mean? When I start screaming out that, yeah, and that, stop it, knock it off, cuz. Stop it. Tell them to send that bag, and I'm coming. And I'm, you know.
Before the fight became official, Davis didn't hold back on his views about Jake Paul boxing. He brushed it off as trash, echoing the doubts many pros feel about celebrities joining the sport. Davis claimed Paul only picked up boxing after losing interest in things like YouTube. That captured the bigger clash between purist boxers and entertainers stepping into the ring. But Paul's persistence has forced even top fighters to notice him. The fact that Davis agreed to face him shows just how far Paul has come, from sideshow attraction to headline.
What do you think of former athletes and celebrities like Jake Paul taking up boxing? You think that grows the sport?
If he's doing it for the right reason, actually want to do it because of just like actually want to box, it's cool. But if he's doing it for like the wrong reason, just to get the hype and stuff like that, I feel as though it's trash. Sometimes people get bored at what they doing, and they want to try other stuff. Got to be mentally tough to be able to box. So that's why I don't take that away from some fighters or some people that want to jump into the sport. So just show how tough you are. That's how it should be.
For sure. That's all I got. Thank you, bro.
Sure. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
The announcement of Davis versus Paul split the boxing community. Many critics said it proved how far the sport has shifted from legacy to spectacle. They fear boxing is turning into more of a circus than a sport. Others remind people that boxing has always had a showbiz element. From Ali's flashy persona to Tyson's pay-per-view reign, entertainment has always been tied to the sport. Love it or hate it. This fight is the latest example of boxing walking the line between competition and spectacle.
Boxing has gone too far. Jake Paul is taking on Gervonta "Tank" Davis in an exhibition bout this November. The fight will be taking place in Atlanta between the cruiserweight and the 135-pounder, nearly a 100-pound difference between the two guys. This is absolutely insane. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below.
Former contender Jesse Hart defended Davis against backlash over the fight. Hart said critics don't understand. Davis isn't walking away from legacy, he's navigating the business side of boxing today. He argued that Tank has every right to chase big opportunities, even if some dismiss it as circus style. Hart's comments showed the split among fighters. Some want Davis to face names like Shakur Stevenson or Teofimo Lopez. Others believe fighting Paul brings in too much money to pass up. For Hart, Davis isn't selling out, he's making a smart decision. And while most expect Tank to win, the opinion...
This man, that's the circus. If you want to join the circus, that's the circus. I don't see the value. I just see money involved in that. If they want the money, if that's what they want to do, then go ahead and go ahead and get the money. But other than that, I'm not. You got a guy, Jake Paul, that's what, 6'3", 6'4", almost. Then you got a guy, Gervonta Davis, that's like 5'5", a little guy. Yeah. Y'all gonna try to, who's 200 pounds, who's just for Mike Tyson there, I'm gonna throw him in there with a 135. It's just a circus, and that's what they want to do to get money, to generate money in the sport of boxing instead of Gervonta Davis. This is a legacy fight. He was supposed to fight Lamont Roach after this, and then he say, no. Think about it. You really can't say too much. When you say Gervonta Tank Davis and you say Lamont Roach, there's still a question mark on that fight. It was still a question mark on that rumble. You just gonna leave it and then go right to the money and say, no, I ain't. That's how you know legacy and everything don't matter. I did that before. I took the money with the Joe Smith fight when my hand was fucked up and, excuse my language, my hand was messed up, broke in training camp, and I still said, yo, no, I'm taking that, I'm still fighting him. I'm not gonna not fight him again. I'm gonna fight, we're fighting him, Dad. We're fighting him, Rick. We're fighting him, Fred. I want to get everybody. Jesse, don't take the fight, man. Let your hand heal. Let's get the surgery. No, I'm fighting him. It's too close. We 3 weeks out. I'm fighting him.
Boxing commentator Andy Ross caught attention by predicting Jake Paul will actually win. He admitted the fight is good for both men, but feels Paul's size and awkward style could give him an advantage. His take explains why the matchup is so intriguing. Paul lacks Davis's background, but his size, confidence, and unpredictable style make him a unique challenge. Ross's prediction isn't popular, but it reflects the growing view that Paul deserves more respect than critics give him. Still, question
more things for Lego. Jake Paul is fighting Gervonta Davis.
Crazy.
Your thoughts on this?
I have locks with Snaggy right there. I think Jake Paul wins that fight. You're way, look, obviously Gervonta Davis has way more experience. He's a hell of a fighter. He's done so much more for boxing and you know, than a lot of people. But to say that, you know, that's not, everyone's going to want to watch that fight. I think it's a genius idea. I think Jake Paul sets the craziest expectations, and I think he sets the bar so high now in the boxing world. Jake Paul revived boxing. You know, people can say what they want to say about it, but Jake Paul really revived the sport of boxing. You know, Joe Rogan once said previously, not so long ago, but he did speak about how boxing would eventually die out and all the eyes would shift to MMA. And it's true. I sit there, I'll watch UFC whenever there's an amazing pay-per-view event. I'm always watching it. Boxing, I don't really watch it as much. And yeah, you can call me a casual to the sport. I'm just getting into it. But the people that are just getting into the sport, UFC is like the new boxing, what it was 20, 30 years ago. So Jake Paul is changing and reviving the sport of boxing, in my opinion. But I think that Jake Paul wins that fight. I love Gervonta as a fighter. I think he's amazing. I think he has great technique. He has crazy knockout power. Don't underestimate him.
You've spoken to him before, haven't you?
Yeah.
When you're doing it was you and Ron Garcia and Gervonta and Tank when they were both fighting.
Yeah. I just spoke with Gervonta today, actually. So when I get back to Miami, him and I might do something. I don't know. But, you know, I think, like I said, don't count him out, but I think Jake Paul wins that fight.
Coach Bernie completely rejected the idea, saying he doesn't believe the fight will ever happen, not even as an exhibition. To him, it lacks real meaning and is built on hype, not substance. He's not the only one. Plenty of big crossover bouts in the past have collapsed before happening. Bernie's doubt reflects the concern within boxing about celebrity-driven fights. But with both fighters speaking openly about it, his view may not hold up. Still, his comments show that many insiders
happen. I don't see, even at an exhibition. Now, first of all, we went with the Mike Tyson thing, right? So Mike Tyson, 60 years old. You know, obviously we all thinking that, you know, he had to pull his punches against Jake. Either one of them, both of them had to do something to get through the fight, you know, so they couldn't do their 100% thing in the fight. Now we talking about a 135-pound guy, 5'3", right, against a 6 foot, 200-pound guy. What is the point of that? I'm asking you, what is the point of that? What is the point of that, and how you think that's gonna go? So Jake Paul, just alone, on strength alone, Tank is not we just seen him struggle with Lamont Roach, right? Who's a guy his size. Now, Jake Paul is not as talented as Lamont Roach, but come on now, we ain't talking about 2 weight classes. We talking about 4, 5, 6 weight classes. Come on, we got to go from 35, we got to go to 40, 47, 54, 60, 68, 75, 90. That's 7 weight class difference. 7 weight class difference. 7 weight class difference. We talking about 7 weight class difference. We all know Tank best weight is 35, 40. You fought Barrios at 40, 35, 40. And you fight Jake Paul, who getting better. I'm like I said, and he got 6 feet tall. Where Tank gonna hit him? Where is Tank gonna land some punches? And he don't throw a lot of punches. Come on now. He didn't knock Lamont Roach out. You gonna knock Jake Paul out? So what's the point of the exhibition for real?
Some analysts see Jake Paul's choice differently, not just about money, but about credibility. For years, he was mocked as a YouTuber pretending to box. But his persistence and wins over ex-MMA fighters boosted his reputation. Facing Davis, an unbeaten knockout artist, is his boldest attempt yet to prove himself. Even if he doesn't win, showing he can compete with Tank would earn him a level of respect critics can't dismiss.
And it definitely seems like this is that he wants the respect of legitimacy. He doesn't want to be looked at like some type of, circus act. Like, people think that he's doing these fights that are being thrown. He's not legitimate, and his detractors are saying that it's like, yeah, okay, well, you did this and you did that, but these guys were old, or they were retired, or this and that. But the fact of the matter is, when you fought a real fighter, you lost. So people are like, you're not legitimate. That's what people say. So after everything I've seen on him, if he can beat Tank Davis, I think he'll have his legitimacy card. If he can beat or do something like Rocky 1 to where you got people questioning who won, then he's gonna get all the respect in the world. That's how I think it's gonna go. Because I've seen Tank just destroy people, body people, play with his food, with people. You know what I'm saying? Tank is legit as it gets.
For Gervonta Davis, this fight isn't considered risky. It's an opportunity to expand his reach. Observers note that beating Paul would bring Davis massive exposure, especially among casual fans who don't usually follow boxing. Since Paul attracts worldwide attention, Tank's name would spread to an even bigger audience. Winning this fight wouldn't block legacy matchups. It might even open doors to them. A rematch with Lamont Roach, for instance, is still possible. That makes this fight more of a stepping stone than a setback, helping build Davis's brand before chasing legacy fight.
Then this is the type of event that will probably push him even further along in his popularity. If he puts on a good performance and it's an exciting fight or exhibition and anything, and he winds up somehow looking good in this, I don't know how it is. It's looked to me David and Goliath, but David got skill and Goliath doesn't, but I don't know how it's going to work out. But if for some reason it winds up being a really fun event and it has tons and tons of millions and millions and millions of viewers, when Gervonta Davis goes back to his next fight, which I hope would be a Lamont Roach fight, then maybe some of that will wash into the next fight and it'll be a bigger fight and more money in it for the fighter that he'll actually fight next, who, again, I certainly hope is Lamont Roach. So why did he do it? It's very, very, very clear that he did this. Gervonta Davis did this for the money, and it's not an illogical thing. And if somebody in his situation has this to do, consider all things considered, hey man, this is what people are gonna do. So he has a fight with a tough Lamont, very, very tough Lamont Roach. who people did not say was a tough fighter before he fought him, but Lamont Roach is a very, very tough fighter. He had a deal already done to fight Jake Paul before he caught that draw. So if I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, I'm gonna say, okay, great. If you get you already signed for the Jake Paul deal, that could be $50 million. I'm hearing the numbers, I'm hearing somewhere around $50 million. Then if you go back and fight Lamont Roach and the anticipation for the Lamont Roach fight has increased, then you kind of get a double dip on it, and it may work out extremely well for Gervonta.
Shakur Stevenson weighed in with his perspective as a fighter. He admitted his pride would have made him go straight for a rematch with Lamont Roach. But at the same time, he understood the financial pull of a Jake Paul fight. His words highlight the tough choice many boxers face: pursue championships or secure paydays. Some will always put legacy first, while others believe financial security matters just as much. For Shakur,
included, and many people, including Shakur, thought Lamont Roach actually won the fight. So it's a highly anticipated rematch because of the night of the fight. The fight was actually 15-1 in favor of Gervonta Tank Davis. So the whole world wants to see Gervonta Tank Davis rematch Lamont Roach. Was it a fluke? Was it, a bad night for Tank Davis? Was it a style matchup? Bad matchup for Tank Davis? Does Lamont just have his number? They fought twice in the amateurs in close fights. What is it, right? And Gervonta Tank Davis, in the eyes of the boxing world, needs to rematch Lamont Roach. So Shakur addresses why you not rematching Lamont Roach. He was rumored to rematch him. He was rumored to rematch him in June 21st, he didn't sign. Then August 16th, he didn't sign. But he told you the night of the fight, the post-fight press conference with Lamont Roach, that he not rematch him no time soon because he already had this set up with Jake Paul. So Shakur says he would do the same thing as long as he could rematch Lamont Roach because of his competitive nature and his hunger and drive to be great in the sport of boxing.
Trainer Greg Hackett gave one of the most straightforward takes. He said Davis's decision isn't about desperation, it's smart business. Hackett reminded people that boxing has always been prize fighting, and the prize is money. He argued that Tank fighting Paul doesn't erase his standing as an elite champion or damage his legacy. Instead, it shows a fighter seizing a rare opportunity. Hackett's call for respect underlines a key point. Legacy and money don't cancel each other out. With the right...
I felt like that in the beginning of it, right? When I first saw the headlines and I saw that they was, instead of him fighting Lamont, he'd be fighting Jake, whatever. At first I was like, damn, Tank, like that's kind of crazy. Like, that's fucked up. But then I started thinking about it throughout the day. I'm thinking about it, I'm seeing the posts and shit. And I'm like, yo, none of this shit is guaranteed. Like, none of this shit that we do in life is guaranteed. And it's also not a guarantee that we all gonna be here for a long time. You know what I mean? We all know somebody that died too early. You know what I'm saying? And one thing I know about life, when I hear old heads talk, you ask them about regrets. I wish I would have did this. I wish I would have did that. I wish I could have did this. I wish I could have did that. At the end of the day, man, you taking a shot at some money. We all wish we could have made that kind of money. I don't understand the issue. He could come back and fight whoever he want after that. His career is not over just because you fighting Jake Paul. Jake Paul ain't no type of fucking demon. It's not like he about to go in there with Godzilla. You about to play around for 8 rounds, 2 minutes with a dickhead. You know what I mean? No disrespect. But, with somebody that think they know how to fight. This is a bank robbery. You know what I'm saying? This is what people do in the corporate world every day. Steal fucking money. He doing it. I'm not mad at that man. Fuck that. I ain't mad at Tank for some shit like that. I'm mad. I was irked about the fact that I'm a boxing guy and I love great fights. But at the same time, if I stop over here to make some good money and then go back to doing what I was doing, there's nothing wrong with that. Anybody who's waiting around for Tank, or anybody who's so tuned into Tank that they mad, they need to get a f***ing life. Because if you think about it, nobody got mad at Chris Brown when Chris Brown said, you know what? I'm gonna be taking pictures after the show, and I'm charging $1,100.